this is the Razer Kishi, and basically what it is a USB Type-C mobile gaming controller for most Android smartphones out there. Now if you're thinking that the design looks kind of familiar, well, you are not wrong, because Razer worked with GameVice on this. So yeah. Right off the box you get, well, the Kishi itself. First impressions are really positive. Compared to the Razer Junglecat, which I personally own, the Kishi is much more ergonomic and feels much better. To give you a general idea, the Junglecat is more like that of the Nintendo Switch in handheld mode with the Joy-Cons attached. It's really similar, while the Kishi, it's kind of like taking the Switch Pro controller and cutting that into two halves, if you get what I mean. Compared to the Junglecat, the triggers are much bigger, the sides are a little more rounded, which makes it fit nicely into your palm, and in all, it just has more space for your fingers to rest on, so it's much more comfortable. As for the buttons themselves, well, they feel fine. Now I'm going to compare the Kishi to the Junglecat quite a bit, but the buttons on the Junglecat are really similar to that of the Joy-Cons, while the Kishi is much more like the Switch Pro controller. This means the buttons have a much more mushy feel to them rather than a solid click. But with that said, Razer has also managed to keep it consistent across the board for all the buttons, so it's pretty much the same experience that you're getting no matter what you press. As for the triggers, well, you get two per side. I actually do like the R1 and L1 triggers because it's pretty tactile, but unfortunately not the R2 and L2 triggers. Those feel really springy and kind of cheap. Yeah, I'm not quite sure how to explain, but it just doesn't feel nice to use. As for the D-pad, it actually reminds me more of the PlayStation Portable, more so than any other controller at the moment. It feels pretty similar as far as I can remember, and in short, it's great. Then of course, you get asymmetrical thumbsticks, which does also have L3 and R3, so you can click on them. Overall, it's just a great controller that feels great in the hand and basically has all the buttons that you actually need. So in order to use it, you have to first unlock and extend the Kishi. Release the two latches on the back and you can simply pull them out. As you can tell, that rubber extension strip is what allows the Kishi to be universally compatible, though there is a limit to how big of a phone you can use it with, but in general, it should fit most flagship Android phones out there. Now, I personally use a Razer Phone 2 and as you can tell, it fits perfectly. But, unfortunately, there is a catch. If you're planning to buy the Kishi or you just bought it, you'll realize that you actually can't fit the Razer Phone 2 out of the box. And that's not a lie. It's the truth. In fact, it's even written on Razer's webpage that if you did purchase a Kishi or would like to use it with the Razer Phone 2, you actually have to send an email to request for the rubber inserts to fit the Razer Phone 2. As far as I know, this service is free of charge, but yeah, it's going to be quite a hassle. Now of course, you can simply plug out the rubber inserts and then you can use the Razer Phone 2 with it. But if you do that, you lose quite a bit of structural rigidity, as well as placing unnecessary strain on the USB-C port, so I would suggest not to do that. Anyways, once you have the Kishi on, it basically feels like a Nintendo Switch, though definitely much more comfortable. Do note however that once you have it installed, you can't really use the rear camera on your phone, or if your phone does have a fingerprint touch sensor on the back, that's gonna be hard to reach as well. So basically, once you have it on, you're strictly gaming. Honestly, gaming on it is pretty great. Playing games like GTA Chinatown Wars just reminds me of my days with my PSP, and you can also hook up your PC via Steam Link and play any AAA titles that way. You'll basically have no issues with the controller at all, as long as you're playing a compatible Android game or using Steam Link. But if you want to use the Kishi for anything that's not compatible, well then, you are out of luck. Because unlike the Junglecat, this does not have support for touch button remapping or overlay. So the only mobile game that I play, Azure Lane, which is an uncompatible game, doesn't work with the Kishi. So all in all, it's a really great mobile gaming controller. I really enjoyed my time with it. But there are some things that you have to take note, especially if you're choosing between this and the Junglecat. First is compatibility. With the Junglecat, you basically only have 3 smartphones that you can use to mimic gaming like that on the Nintendo Switch, because that system requires a custom case for it, in which Razer only provides 3. The Kishi on the other hand will fit far more smartphones out there. The second would be wired versus wireless. The good thing about the Kishi is because it's directly connected, you won't experience any kind of latency or input lag, and you do also get a Type-C pass-through for power, so you can charge your phone while playing. On the other hand, the Junglecat is Bluetooth enabled. Not only do you have to charge the controller separately, if you use it with the case, you can't charge and play. But the advantage is that it's Bluetooth, So it's not limited to just your smartphone, you can use it with your PC, your tablet, anything else you like. So if you're like me, rocking a Razer phone too, I would choose the Junglecat. And well, that's what I did. But if you basically own any other smartphone out there, the Kishi is the better choice. All in all, the Razer Kishi is a really great mobile gaming controller. It not only enhances the mobile gaming experience, but it's also far more comfortable than most other gaming controllers that I have tried. If this tickled your interest, or if you're someone who's really vested into mobile gaming, do check it out. I don't think you will be disappointed. If you have any questions, drop us a comment down below. Consider supporting us by checking out the affiliate links in the description as well. If you do, thanks for the support. Don't forget to subscribe to us, follow us on Facebook and Instagram. Till the next one, see ya!